World-renowned for his training with Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, Tiger Woods, Hakeem Olajuwon, Charles Barkley, Gilbert Arenas, and the list goes on. Hundreds of NFL, NBA, MLB, and Olympic athletes. Okay? What is he the best in his class at? At helping people and businesses increase their mental and physical capacity. Okay? Wrote a book. If you haven't read it yet, you are missing out. I just read it for the third time last month. Relentless, From Good to Great to Unstoppable. He has an online training platform called Relentless Systems. Incredible as well. I wanted to read a quote from his book, one of my favorite quotes of any book I've ever read. This will tell you a little bit about Tim. If you want a feel-good story about a trainer bringing a guy from ruins to riches with a warm, fuzzy ending, go watch a Rocky movie. This is real life. If you pass out in the middle of one of my workouts, I'm not standing over you to coax you back onto your feet with compassion and support. I am going to make sure you are breathing, and then I'm leaving you right there. When you finally come around and you've cleaned up your puke, come find me and we will get back to work. He is a true cleaner. Let's roll his video.
All right? Be careful what the hell you ask for. All right? Because I'm the family member nobody wants in their family, but everyone fucking needs. All right? So be ready. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I leave that for everybody else. I'm here to remind you who you really are. That's what I'm here to do. And this is going to be an interactive talk. There's going to be participation from the audience. There's going to be some language. And if you're offended by the language, from the bottom of my heart, I don't give a fuck. Okay? So earlier, you got a chance to hear Michael Birch speak. That's a bad little motherfucker, ain't it? Okay? But remember, he's from Tennessee. They do a lot of praying in Tennessee. All right? I'm from Chicago. All right? You know what we do in Chicago. All right? We're the fucking murder capital of the fucking world. And there'll be some murders in this place today. Because everybody in this room is going to kill something about them, and they're going to leave it in this room. All right? Now, I want to understand everybody in this room. Who's interested in taking their business to the next level? Stand up if you're interested in taking your business to the next level. Everybody that stood up, you're wrong. And I'll tell you why. If you're interested is a fucking hobby. It's a hobby. You're interested in a lot of things. You think Michael Jordan was interested in being the greatest basketball player ever? You think Kobe Bryant was interested in winning 5 championship rings? You gotta be fucking obsessed. You gotta be obsessed. If you're interested in something, it's a hobby. It gives you a way out. So right now the thought process is you are no longer interested in taking your business to the next level. If you're interested in taking your business to the next level, go with the people that are busy out there in that booth and not listening to me talk right now, because they're not interested. If you guys here, everybody in this room, you are officially obsessed with what you're going to do. You're going to be obsessed with greatness. You're going to be obsessed with unstoppable. You're going to be obsessed with being the best individual you are meant to be, not what somebody else wants you to be. Have I made myself clear? Have I made myself clear? There we go. Take a seat. I want everybody right now, I need the thought process to change immediately. I need it to change immediately. Because it isn't your physical abilities that are not allowing you to get to where you want to be. Every room is an athlete. It's an athlete. You are an athlete. And every time you knock on a door, that's your competition. You don't know what is going to be behind that door. You don't know who's going to be behind that door. You don't know what the game plan is going to be. And if you're not obsessed with what's going to happen next, and you're just interested, you're going to end up going from house to house to house. Hey, man, why the fuck does mic keep cutting off? All right? Understand the word obsession. All stuff that you hear where they tell you words are bad. The greats of the greats, they think differently. They think differently. There's a gentleman by the name of Jeff Bezos. He runs a little small company called Amazon. All right? You think he's just interested in delivering packages? All right? He's so freaking obsessed with trying to deliver the package quicker and sooner. And that's what the knowledge I want you guys to understand. Same desire. It's in each one of you. People always ask, listen, is this something you're born with? It is not something you're born with. Everybody has it inside of them. But most fucking use it. No, I can't use this thing. I talk too much with my hands. Thank you for the suggestion. All right? You have to have what you want inside of you and be willing to bring it out and not care what anybody else thinks. Everybody in this room is a little bit off. You have to be. Think about the business you're in. You're in the door-to-door business. If somebody tells you you're crazy and somebody tells you you're a little bit off, you know what the answer is? The answer is yes, I fucking know I am. Okay? I don't want to be able to think like you. I don't want to be like everybody else. I don't want to do the same shit that you do. Okay? You know what crazy means? Crazy means that you have the ability to see things that other people can't. That's what crazy means. And if you're not fucking crazy, you're never going to succeed at anything in life. Everybody has got to be a little bit off. Anybody that's done something successful, anybody that's done something great, they don't think like anybody else. They can't. And the people that tell you you can't do it, you know what your response to them is? Watch me. That's all you have to say. Watch me. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to be the first ones to be coming to you and say, oh, I knew you can do it. I knew it. I knew it. Can I borrow $20? But you understand who you are. Who in this room knows exactly who they are? Who in this room knows exactly who they are? All right? I want everybody to take out your phones. Take out your phones. Take out your phones. And take a quick video and tell yourself exactly who you are. Who you are. All right? Who wants to share it with me? stand up and share one with me? I'll tell you, if I had my phone right now, I'd be looking at it, and I'd be saying, I'm the baddest motherfucker in this room. All right? All right? Who else has got one? Who's got one? Who just stood up right over there? Yes. You, yeah. Don't get shy now. Get your big ass up. What did you say? No, you can't. That's mine. You got to come up with something else. Come on now. You got to come up with something else. All right. Now, we'll talk about that later. Anybody else? Yes. You what? There you go. Anybody else? There you go. Anybody else? That's it. Anybody else? There you go. Listen. Yeah. There you go. Listen. And then now, you tell yourself that, you got to back it up. There you go. You got to be able to back it up. All right? Everybody in here gave me a different answer, except that dude right there. But whatever it is, you got to believe it. You got to live it. You got to understand it, because that's who you are. That's who you are. And a lot of times you forget who you really are, because you're living somebody else's life. You're living somebody else's dream. You're living somebody else's fantasy. You have one chance at this. One. You don't get a chance at a redo of life. One opportunity. Live your life the way you want to live it. And you're going to piss a lot of people off when you do it that way. You're going to piss a lot of people off. I'd rather piss a lot of people off and enjoy my life on my terms than for other folks to be happy for me and living my life on their terms. I got accepted in medical school. I didn't go. Both my parents are Indian. You know how hard it is to tell two Indian parents you're not going to medical school? I told them I wanted to train professional athletes. You know what people used to tell me? Oh, you're going to be a gym teacher. No, I'm going to train professional athletes. All right? I know exactly who I am. I know exactly what I wanted to do. All right? Who in this room knows exactly what they want to do? All right? What do you want to do, young man? Stand up quick. Let's go. I'm on the clock. So take your hands out your pocket. You make me nervous. Hold on. This one right here. Louder. He wants to be a country music singer. Come on stage right now. Let's go. You're a country music singer. You're 1,500 people. Let's go. Don't look at me. Let's go.
What do you want to hear?
Don't look at me. I can't help you.
Okay.
Let's go.
I got sent home from school one day with a shiner on my eye. Fighting was against the rules, and it didn't matter why. When Dad got home, I told that story just like I'd rehearsed. Then stood there on those trembling knees, waited for the worst. And he said, let me tell you a secret. A secret that my daddy was just between us. He said, daddies don't just love their children every now and then. It's a love without end, amen. It's a love without end, amen.
a huge lesson in this right now. You're so busy living somebody else's life because you want their approval. When you live your own life, watch what happens. You had 1,500 people in here cheering for you, backing you up because they wanted you to live your dream. They understood that you got on this stage and you wanted to be who you really were. All right? Those are your allies. Those are the people that you hang out. When you're authentic, you find out who your friends are. When you're authentic, you find out the people you need to fucking get rid of. I always tell the truth. It's one of my biggest problems. I always tell the same person all the time. And you know what happens when you tell the truth? You don't have a whole lot of friends. I don't care. I don't care. Because you ask for honesty, I'm going to give you honesty. If you suck at your job, I'm going to tell you suck at your job. Right? If you do a great job, I'm going to be the first one to tell you. Because when you're authentic, when you pay somebody a compliment, it really means something. It really means something. I'll give you a great example. Okay, if you're in a relationship and you're significant others, all right? To me, I don't give a shit about Valentine's Day, Sweetest Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. You can take all those days off. Because if it takes a special day on the calendar for you to treat me a certain way, I don't want you in my life. I don't want you in my life. I want somebody, listen, you can take those 5 days off. Treat me well those other 300 and whatever days it is. Math ain't my strong point. All right? That's somebody that's authentic. That's somebody that's genuine. That's somebody that really cares about you, that does something because they want to do something, not because a day on the calendar. You got to pick a day on the calendar to do something nice for that significant other, to buy them flowers, to buy them something nice. This is a new year. It's a new decade. And everybody comes around, oh, it's a new decade, it's a new year, new me. You don't need a new you. You just need to understand you. You need to understand who you really are. You need to understand what makes you tick. Because what happened to a lot of individuals in this room, somebody else took your personality. Somebody else is living inside you. Somebody else is living inside your head. That's what's going on. You're living somebody else's life. You're living somebody else's dreams. You're living the way somebody else wants you to live. And you know why they want you to live that way? Because they don't want you to live the way you want to live, because they wanted to live the way you want to live. They didn't do it themselves. Every single day, everybody in this room should have this moment. And I can't remember the last time individuals in this room had this moment. Everybody in this room needs to have a fuck you moment. I have every single day. I say, fuck you, and fuck you. What do you got for me? What do you got? All right? This is what you decided to do. This is what you want to be successful at. This is your dream. Don't wait for somebody else to support your dreams. Don't wait for anybody else. Somebody asked me earlier, they were like, listen, how do I find somebody who I know is the right individual for me? From a business standpoint, from a relationship standpoint. Everybody says, oh, you got to find somebody that's the opposite. You got to find somebody that balances you. I totally disagree with that. Totally disagree. You know how you find a successful business partner, a successful life partner? Find somebody who's just as fucked up as you are. Okay? Somebody who's just as crazy as you are, that sees the same things that you see. That's going to keep you in check. That's going to tell you when you're screwing up. That's going to push you harder. That's not going to make excuses for you. When you get rid of the excuses and the dead weight of the individuals that you've been carrying around for so long, that's when things start to change in your life. That's when things start to change in your life. There's not a single individual in this room right now that doesn't have somebody in their life that they need to get rid of. Even me. Even me. And I'm going to show you how difficult it is. We all want to add stuff. Here's the thing. Your whole life you're looking to add. You know how you become more successful? You decrease the bullshit. That's how you get more of what you want. That's how you become more authentic. Pull out your phone again. Go through your contacts. I want you to delete a contact right now out of your phone. Delete a contact out of your phone. You know they're not good for you. They've never supported you. They've never helped you. All they've ever done is take. Yeah, that shit ain't that easy, is it? Right? Because your emotions and feelings are getting in the way. Think about all the contacts that you've added and how many you're not taking away. It's a little fearful, isn't it? Yeah, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. You know how people always tell you, you got to conquer your fears? You don't have to conquer your fears. You got to understand your fears. You're supposed to be fucking scared. You know what? If you're not scared, your goals and dreams are not big enough. You're thinking too frickin' small. Fear is a good thing. It's what keeps you going when nothing else will. But you have to understand it. You have to control it. You're never going to conquer it. You can control it. It's one of your biggest allies. It's one of your biggest assets. You know how I love people say, yeah, you'll get speakers on the stage. Yeah, you're going to conquer your fears. I'm going to conquer your fears of public speaking. I'm going to conquer your fears of heights. I'm going to conquer your fears of this. No. You learn how to deal with it. You overcome them. but they're still going to be there. They are still going to be there. If you were a fat individual when you were growing up and now you're in great shape, that fat individual is still inside you. It's not going anywhere. I was that fat kid. I know. I know. And you know what the crazy thing is? The people that used to tease me and call me fat, 30 years later, yeah, they don't look so good now. Yeah. Yeah. It's a part of you. There's a lot of things inside of you that people have bad, but it makes you who you are. It's your fuel. It's what keeps you going when nothing else will. So learn to use it. You don't think so when I get up in the morning, the same thoughts and ideas and the issues that you have, I have? You don't think so there's an individual standing next to me when I roll out of bed that says, another 5 minutes, another 10 minutes. You don't have to work that hard today. Yesterday. And then I roll over to bed every single day. I stand up. I greet all those individuals. And I take them to breakfast. Because they're not going anywhere. We've been taught to push our skeletons in the closet. Push your skeletons in the closet. Put your skeletons in your closet. You know what you're doing when you push your skeletons in your closet? You're putting yourself in there too. Those skeletons are a part of you. They're not going anywhere. There's not a single individual in this room that hasn't fucked up at something. Own up to it. Own up to it. Take those skeletons out. They're a part of you. Make yourself that whole individual. Let people accept all of you, not just some of you. You go out and you chip away at everything about yourself because that's what society tells you. You shouldn't act this way. You shouldn't be this way. You shouldn't dress this way. You shouldn't talk this way. You shouldn't act this way. Who in the fuck are they? Did they buy real estate in your head? Did they buy the space up in there? Are they paying rent? Why are you letting them in? Why are you letting them in? And for a lot of individuals in here, you know it's your family members. You know it is. The people that are closest to you. The people that are your friends or their so-called friends. Do they really have your best interest at hand? Do they really have your best interest at hand? How are you going to climb that ladder, that rope to success if you're carrying all that weight with you? And I'm not talking about poundage of your actual body weight. I'm talking about the extra weight that somebody else is put in here. Because a lot of individuals in here, let me tell you, the reason you're not successful, you're afraid of success. You're afraid of success. Because once you become successful or you get a higher degree of success, everything that you gave up to get there, you're going to have to give up more. You're going to have to give up more of your free time. You're going to have to give up more time with your family. You know how I love everybody talks about, and I kind of made this point yesterday in the mastermind group. You'll get people that come up on stage after they've made it, and they'll talk about, you need to spend time with family. You never sacrifice this. You know, they're showing on their Instagram. They're traveling with their families over here. They're doing this. They're doing all that. What were you doing 10, 15 years ago? People don't like to talk about that stuff. I don't want people in this room to be in the top 10%, the top 1%. I want you to be in the top 0.001%. I talk about shit that nobody else wants to talk about because it doesn't give you the warm and fuzzies. It doesn't make you feel good. This is what it takes to be the best of the best. This is what Michael Jordan did. This is what Kobe Bryant did. This is what Dwayne Wade did. This is what Usain Bolt did. This is what Serena Williams does. This is what Roger Federer does. This is what Bill Gates does. That's what we're striving for. That's what we're striving for. And now with social media, there's so many people out there living a fake life. They're living a fake life. You don't believe me? I did this yesterday. I'm going to do it again. People, again, pull out your phones. Go to your Instagram. Look at your profile picture. None of you look that fucking good. So think about it. So if I met you in person and you told me, hey, go check out my Instagram, I looked at your page and I saw you in person, I'd be like, who the fuck is this? I had an athlete I was training, and this was years ago, and his father brought in some film to me, and we sat down and we started to watch the film, and he goes to me, don't f the camera adds about 10. I was like, well, how many fucking cameras you got on this guy? He's like 60 pounds overweight. If you start living your life fake on social media, it's going to translate to who you really are. It is. It is. Don't be impressed by other people's stuff. Don't be impressed by other people's ideas. Don't be impressed by what other people have. Be impressed with yourself. Be impressed with what you're capable of doing. Be impressed with what's inside of you. The true you. That's who you need to be impressed with. Remember, you can always control. You can always control your actions, and you can always control how you react to something. And people are going to try to get you to react. They're always going to try to get you to react to something. because that's how they control you. It's funny. People, when they're like, don't say this, don't say that. All right? I can't remember the last time when somebody said something to me that it physically hurt me. Like if somebody was to come in here and they were an MMA or boxer and they were to hit me, first there'd be a lot of furniture moving up in here first. That's going to physically hurt me. If they come to me and tell me I'm this, this, and that, I decide on whether that's going to hurt me or not. Right. There's not a single individual in this room. All right. If you've been taught, if you've been called this, stand up. All right. You're worthless. You're never going to amount to shit. Okay. You're wasting your time. Okay. Guess who else is standing? Me. So the same stuff you've been hearing, I heard. The same stuff I heard, Michael heard. The same stuff Michael heard, Kobe heard. You don't think so when Jeff Bezos first started, he said, hey, I'm going to deliver packages in 2 weeks? Man, that ain't going to happen. You make that decision. You know what your worth is. You know how much power you have inside you. You know what you're capable of doing. You understand yourself better than anybody else. But you're always asking somebody else for freaking advice. You're always asking, hey, listen, this monitor says 5 minutes. Who wants me to stop at 5 minutes? All right, you might as well turn that off. All right, when I get done, I'll get done. Okay? Okay. Right now, they can wait on the food. Right now, I'm feeding them with some knowledge, which is really important. All right? So when somebody tells you those things, when I told you to have a FU moment, you have those FU moments, but then you show them. You show them with your results. You show them with your attitude. You don't react to what they say. They want you to react. You know why? Because they are freaking miserable, and they want you to be miserable right with them. All right? The faster you get rid of those individuals, this ain't a popularity contest. This ain't about how many likes you can get. This is about how many friends you have on Facebook. This is about getting what you want, about living the life you are meant to live. Michael Bird has this thing called the Greatness Factory. You just can't walk in there and become fucking great. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the action. I can talk to you all day long. If you don't take any of this stuff I say, if you don't take any of the stuff Michael says, if you don't take any of the stuff Mark Eaton said earlier, it's just words. That's why I don't do a hype session. I don't consider myself a motivational speaker. You have to be motivated to do what you do already. What's the worst thing you can put in your body? Sugar. And what do most people try to do? They hype you up. That's what motivation is. Motivation is like a sugar high. You come out of the room, everybody pumps you up, you got fists waving, you got all this stuff going on, You know, everybody's telling you, let's go, and you feel good, and you get out of this room, and they tell you, let's go, and you walk out of this room, and you're like, where in the fuck do I go now? Okay. I give you stuff that sticks to your gut, that makes you think, that makes you feel. It sound good, it don't feel good. But you want real results, you want to know what the true competitors do, this is what they do. This is what they do. Every single door you knock on is like another jump shot. It's another Tom Brady pass. If it doesn't get completed, you knock on the next one. If that one doesn't get completed, you knock on the next one. If that doesn't get completed, you knock on the next one. Because every one you don't knock on, that's one you're going to remember. My door knocking days were through letters. That's how I got Michael Jordan, through a frickin' letter. Through a letter. I wrote 15 letters. You guys can sit down, and girls. I wrote 15 letters to I wrote 14 letters to every single player on the Chicago Bulls team of what I'm capable of doing, what my background is, what my education is in. The one person I didn't send a letter to was Michael Jordan. Why? Oh, he's already the best. I don't need him. He doesn't need me. Who's the one person that had his people find out what this kid was about? Michael Jordan. That's a pretty fucking big-ass house to pass up. And it's the funniest thing. The people with the most success, the people with the most stuff, are the ones that are always looking for more. They're always looking for more knowledge, always looking to get better. I always ask Tom Brady, what's his favorite championship ring? You know what he says? The next one. The next one. What's your favorite sale? The next one. There's always a next. There's always another level. But in order to get more of next, in order to get more of what you want, you got to stop loaning yourself out to everybody else. You know how they always say it's selfish to take care of yourself? Well, if you don't take care of yourself, how in the hell are you going to take care of anybody else? How are you going to take care of anybody else? There are times where you have to be selfish. There are many times you have to be selfish. And if you're not selfish, who's controlling your life? Are you in charge of your life? Or is somebody else controlling it? How many people here, honestly, can say they're in control of their life? There's a lot of hands down. Identify that individual that's controlling your life. Should they be controlling your life? Do you need them to control your life? Is the reason you are where you are because they are in control? Imagine where you can be if you are in control. This is about you. Remember what I told you. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to remind you who you really are. And everybody in here has that it factor. Have that it factor. But you know what? It has an expiration date. And when it expires, you know what happens? It turns into shit. So whatever your it is, you got to go get it. It's your it. It's not somebody else's it. It's what's unique to you. It's what you want. You know, it's funny. Listen, you can have success and money for a lot of different reasons. It could be living a big-ass house. It could be have shiny jewelry, expensive shoes. It could be do charitable things. But we all need it. You know when money, you know how they always say money, they always say, you know, money isn't everything. You know when money isn't everything? When you don't have any. What? How they say, you know, money can't buy happiness. When you're broke, you can't buy a goddamn thing. Okay? And guess what? The same problems that millionaires and billionaires have, broke people have. So if you're going to have the same problems, I'd rather have problems with $10,000 cash in my pocket than have no money in my pocket. All right? You don't think so? The people that are successful don't have marital issues? My client wrote a check for $168 million in his divorce. I'm not talking about one of them big corporate checks. I'm talking about one of them little hand checks. I'm sitting there in the law office, and he handed it to me to hand over to the next person. I looked at that motherfucker. How do I change this name? Get to another country. All right? The problems aren't going away. You got to deal with them. You know, it's funny. Like, we all have these issues going on heads. We all have this stuff from them. So if I have an issue here, all right, that's going on up in here, and I run to here, I don't run anymore. The issue is still here. So you might as well deal with it. You might as well deal with it, because there are another issues coming along. You know, all those sounds and voices that you hear up in here, that's the real you. That's the real you. But you got to get it playing the song that you wanted to you wanted to hear, you want to sing. You got to have it saying the lyrics that you want. You control that space. You know how they say way back when, I was one of those kids where, mommy, 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 daddy, 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 there's a monster underneath the bed. Parents would come running in the room, no, there's nothing under there. All right? Next day, same thing. Next day, the same thing. You know when it stopped? when I realized I was the monster. You know, everybody in here wants to be a beast. I was talking about, I'm a beast, I'm a beast. You're a beast until it's time to do beastly things. You know, it's funny, people talk, I get people that talk about me all the time. They talk shit all the time. Put them into the same room with me and watch what happens. They become my best friends. It's the same people that talk shit about you all the time. They won't do it to your face. They won't do it to your face. I learned more, just as much, from my school teachers as I did from the bullies I had in school. Because the way I was bullied taught me how to deal with what real life is about. Nowadays, we have kids, and this is going to be the worst word I am going to use today. All right? My daughter, she was in the 3rd grade, brought home a trophy. She came running to me. She goes, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy." She brought me the trophy. I looked at the trophy. 16th place, 1-6. I'm like, shit, there was only 11 teams. All right. You put the trophy way up on the shelf. You cover the area. It was a freaking participation trophy. A participation trophy. So now you're awarding individuals for just participating, for just showing up. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. The end result matters. Success matters. Winning matters. You're not here in life just to participate. Leave that for everybody else. You don't get an award for participating. You get regrets. You get rewarded for success. You get rewarded for gratitude. You get rewarded for making a difference. You get rewarded for making a decision. You get rewarded to committing to that decision. You get rewarded for acting on that decision. You get rewarded for being successful. And you get rewarded for being successful over and over and over again. You know, I love when speakers come up and they talk to you about, you know, all the stuff that they have. People are talking about, I was homeless, Mike. I lived in my car. This was broken. That was broken. All this other stuff. And you can have everything. All this stuff. Seriously, you got to come all the way here to do it on YouTube. You can get all that stuff. You can get everything they have and more. If you have the correct mindset, you have the fortitude, you have the desire, you have the action, you have the will, you have the work ethic. Set unrealistic goals and expect to achieve them. All right? You guys understand what I'm trying to say here? All right? You know, I'm not looking for applause. I just want to give you what's truth and what really works. What I know works. What I've seen works. Because I've been through it all with my athletes. All. I just didn't interview them for an hour podcast. I've been through their ups, their downs, their successes, their failures, their travels, everything. It takes. This is what it takes, and the crazy part is it's in every individual in this room. And you're afraid to show it because you're worried about what anybody else is going to think about you. Why are you giving somebody else that much frickin' control? Why? All right. Where are my slides? All right, here we go. In the book Relentless, we have the traits of the most competitive individuals I've ever met. These are it. These are it. If this is you, I'm not going to go through each one of them. I'm going to go through just a few of them. But if this is you, I want you to stand up and tell me how this is you. You go harder when everyone else has had enough. Yes, sir. Speak up, man. Speak up. Okay. What's the difference between 9 and 9:30? Why you got to stop at 9? You achieved your goal for the day. Set a higher goal. Set a higher goal. You think Michael Jordan goes into a game and says, this is how many points I'm going to score? Did you win that day? What if you would have knocked on that extra door? You see how you can cheat yourself out of stuff? That's like me coming in here and stopping this talk at 50 minutes. Who would I be cheating? Me? I'd be cheating you guys. And the whole messed up thing is the guy that's paying me to be up on the stage, when I told him I'm going to stay on this stage longer, I just basically told Sam, fuck you. All right. Yes, sir. There you go. Okay. You have a dark side that refuses to be taught to be good. Yes. Come up a little bit, man. There you go. Now, maybe we got a little 10-cent delay or a 10-second delay, but I want to talk about the dark side. We already talked about what's going when you go harder, you've had enough. what is the dark side to an individual? You know what the dark side is? The dark side isn't about vampires. It isn't about the Death Star. It isn't about Star Wars. It isn't about Yoda. All right? The dark side is what keeps you going when nothing else will. It's what's unique to each individual in here. It's when you have 0 sales for 2 weeks. You get your ass out, you continue to knock on those doors. That's what the dark side is. It's unique to everybody in here. Use it, harness it. It's the most important thing that's going to get you to where you want to be. It's the part of you that nobody else accepts, but it's a part of you that gets you everything that you desire. And we all have it. It's the part of you other people don't want to accept. It's not about them. It's about you. You know, it's amazing. You have individuals that are raised by single-family parents or no parents at all. They use that their whole life as a crutch. Woe is me. I didn't have my mom. I didn't have my dad. And you have other individuals that say, watch me. Same circumstances. That's how important this is. It's the fuel that's inside you. It's what lights your own fire and keeps you going. You're not intimidated by pressure. You thrive on it. Yes, sir. Speak up. All right.
I mean, big example right now, you know, all my peers right here were telling me to get up on the stage and just go dance. And, I mean, I did it over the pressure and stuff like that. And I was a little nervous, but I still did it. And every single time someone tells me, oh, you're not going to do this, you're not going to do that, try to pressure me out of what I'm trying to do, I go and do it.
Listen, pressure's a privilege. Pressure is a privilege. If somebody puts you in a pressure situation, they believe in you. They believe in you. They believe in your abilities. Now, I don't know how many people are in here, historians of basketball, but there was this time when Michael Jordan hit the shot over Craig Elo for the Bulls, beat Cleveland Cavaliers. It was amazing. They brought this. Doug Collins was a coach at the time. He drew up this elaborate play. You know, this is where I want you to go. Here you go, Michael. You get the ball here. This is what's going to happen. Here you go. All right, let's break. So Michael Jordan comes out the huddle. He looks at his teammates. He goes, hey, man, give me the ball and get the fuck out the way. Okay? If I win this game, I'm going to win this game. If I lose this game, I'm going to lose this game. But I'll be damned if I let somebody else lose this game for me. That's pressure. That's pressure. Everybody wants to sit in that first seat until you have to sit in that first seat. So when somebody gives you the chance to be in a pressure situation, they believe in you. But here's the problem. The job that you're in, you can't have somebody else believe more in you than you believe in yourself. And there's a lot of individuals in here, you just don't believe in yourself. Why? It's not because of your self-doubt. It's because what somebody else told you you couldn't be, you couldn't do, you couldn't succeed at. That's the part I'm telling you. You have to be a little bit selfish. You got to want that pressure. You don't have to love the work, but you crave the result. There's not a single individual in here that loves 100% of everything they do. Just not. Sorry. You think my athletes want to see me at 5 o'clock in the morning after they've played a double overtime game? No. But they crave that end result so much that the work is irrelevant. What is your end result? What is your end result? For a lot of individuals, it's multiple championships. What is your end result? All right. You'd rather be feared than liked. Too many individuals here are worried about being liked so much. You're worried about being liked. And I'm talking about when you're a competitor, it's about fear. Each individual in here represents a product. You should know that product inside and out. Better than anybody else. Better than anybody else. And you know the people that are always trying to be liked, that are always complaining all the time. And we all know those individuals, right? Every individual in here, at some point, you've been to a happy hour event, right? Been to a happy hour event, you know, bad booze, cheap food. Who are the people that hang out at a happy hour event? The most miserable fucking people you'll ever meet. And they call it happy hour. What do people do at happy hour? Man, I don't make any money. They got issues with their relationships. They got issues with their kids. They're always complaining about stuff. Who knows those individuals? Raise your hand. Okay? And if you didn't raise your hand, you are that fucking individual. Those are the people that are always worried about being liked all the time. Everything you want, everything you have is available right up in here. You just have to use all of it. You have to use all of it. When was the last time you really got down and dirty on something? You know, when you say, my man, I'm going to roll up my sleeves. No, you know what down and dirty is? You don't roll up your sleeves, you cut the frickin' sleeves off. That's what down and dirty is. When was the last time you really, really, from a mental standpoint, really dug into something? And here's the thing, if you don't, you forget. You forget how to do it. I always go back to the area I grew up in, where I lived. I still ride the bus from time to time. I still take this transportation. They call it the train. They call it the L in Chicago. Because I need to know I can still do those things. Because those are the things that made me. Those are things that remind me. That's why I have the nice car. That's why I have the nice place. But if I lost all those things, could I still get down and dirty and dirtier to get all those things back? Think about it. If you're not that successful anymore, you know why? Because you're not doing, or you're not as happy, or your relationship isn't going as great because you refuse to do the things that you used to do. I love bosses that say, I don't do that. The fuck you mean you don't do that? You should do that and more. How can you expect your employees to do something if you're not willing to do it? All right? That's what down and dirty is. That's the mindset. That's the mindset we teach. And it's available to every individual in this room. Now, just like earlier Michael Burt was so gracious to offer you guys something for free, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm not going to lie to you. I ain't as gracious as he is. All right? You take out your phones. Text cleaner to 96,000. Okay? You get a free assessment. Data rates do apply. All right? Legally, I got to say that. You get a free assessment if you want to know if an individual is a cooler, closer, or cleaner. And if you've read the book, I'm not going to spend time on cooler, closers, and cleaners because you have the book. If you don't have the book, go get the book. Or go borrow somebody else's book. Ask somebody about it. It'll tell you the personality trait that you are. It'll help you tell the personality trait that your employees are. Also, the Relentless 13 that was on there, get that free download to your phone also. All right? And the other thing, right now, I'm in the midst of taking applications, and it's all free. The application is free, all this stuff is free. The program that you're applying for, that does have a price. We won't worry about that right now. All right? You get an application if you want that winning mindset. And there's nobody out there better to teach it than I am. All right? There's nobody better because I've seen it. I've been around the best of the best. In business, in sports, in life, for years. For years. I don't take information from a guest on a podcast and try to pass it on as my own. If you want that mindset, that program is going on right now. I'm taking applications till Sunday. Take a frickin' chance. Take a chance. It ain't gonna cost you nothing to fill it out. And here's a crazy thing. Even if you fill it out and you get accepted, you can say no. You can say no. I don't have any problems with that. I want everybody in this room to get more, to be more, to do more. Everyone here has a gift. Use the freaking gift already. Use it. You know what your gift is. You know what it is. They say we're all born with greatness. Yeah, you are all born with greatness. It's 100% true. But for most individuals, it's going to stay inside because you're too afraid to show it. You're too afraid to show it. Because you're worried about what everybody else is going to think of you if you start to show that level of greatness. All right? It's your greatness. It's your gift. Use it. It's selfish not to share it with other individuals.